And from the draft, because I know they declared you medical ineligible, right? How soon or how close to the draft did you knew that they were gonna medically make you ineligible?
I didn't know. I didn't find out until 5 days before the draft.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna be a lottery pick and everything.
I was reading that. So what they found is you have what's called Marfan Syndrome.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Do you know what it is?
So basically, it's like a connective tissue disorder. So your connective tissues are what's hold your body together. And a person who has Marfan syndrome, in a sense, has a weaker body frame than somebody who doesn't. Just because of their connective tissues are a little bit weaker. It also affects our eyes, our hearts, mainly our hearts. So a lot of people who have Marfan syndrome have to end up undergoing open heart surgery, because their aortic valve grows too enlarged and it's in danger of rupturing, basically, if they do like high intense training and things like that. So that's why, like, my case was the NBA wanted to shy away from it because they were just like, this is almost like something that is just completely out of their control, and it'd be too big of a liability factor to have me play, because NBA, you got to think, man, they're one of the four biggest organizations in the world, behind FIBA and the NFL, it's the NBA. So, if they were to have granted me access to play, and God forbid somebody would have happened to me on the court, it would have tore them under the ground.
Yeah. Have you ever been diagnosed before this, or this was your first time ever even hearing about this syndrome that you had?
Yeah, this was my first time. So actually, when I was going through the draft process, I was in Chicago for the pre-draft.
Okay.
You get invited to the combine. They invite like top 60 players who are in the world, and they take them to the combine, and you work out in front of all the teams, all 30 teams. But then you also got to go through like intense medical like screenings. I'm talking about like head to toe. Like they check your head. They know how many times you done rolled your ankle in your career. They know what bones you broke. You know what I'm saying? They have your whole medical list.
Really?
It goes down the line. It's crazy. So as I was going through that, I think I was on like doctor 18 or 19. You got to see all 30 doctors, all 30 NBA team doctors when you're there.
Oh, wow.
I was on doctor like 18 or 19, and one of them had just like mentioned that my limbs were a little bit more flexible than what they supposed to be, for somebody who is 7 foot. And, he had kind of mentioned like Marfan syndrome, and it kind of sparked like a little bit of a red flag. He started talking to other doctors, and all the other doctors started talking to him. So they kind of like started just chopping it with each other, and then after the combine was over, I remember I was about to get on my flight, and they asked me to stay to do some like extensive testing. But they couldn't look at me and see that I had Marfan syndrome. If you go online and type up Marfan syndrome, you can look at somebody and tell that they have it, that he or she has it. But my case was so mild that you didn't really know unless they took my blood. So they ended up taking my blood, and then they let me continue on with my pre-draft process. So I went all the way another like month and a half of just like working out for teams, you know what I'm saying, preparing for the draft, not paying no mind to it, because you like, shit, I made it this far, like it's 1 in 5,000 people that have it, you know what I'm saying? Like what would make me have it if nobody in my family has it, you know what I'm saying? So then 5 days before the draft, that's when my results came back, and they had to tell me that like I wouldn't be able to participate.
Damn.
Yeah.
5 days before, and that's when it was in New York at that time, right? The draft.
Yeah, the draft was in New York. Yep.
Yeah. Damn. How did you feel when you just getting this news, and who gave you the news?
So it was just like my inner circle gave me the news. It was crazy because it was like the whole day I'm thinking like I'm excited, because the next day we were supposed to fly to New York together. Me and my family got invited to the green room. If you get invited to the green room, basically they saying you're gonna be a top 10, top 15 pick. One of the first people to walk across the stage. So I'm excited, So I wake up at 6 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I eat breakfast. I'm in the gym by 7. I'm working out. As soon as I work out, I remember I was with my high school coach, Ray Forsett. He was like my mentor at the time. Like I always listened to him. He never steered me wrong into no wrong direction, So he was always the person that I always just trusted into, and I could talk to outside of my parents, who just wouldn't judge me on nothing, you know what I'm saying? So we was working out, man, and a lot of people don't know this, but like Mo Williams is a close family friend for us. So he was at the gym. We was working out at his gym, And after the workout, I just remember like Ray was like, man, we're gonna go to Mo's house. We're gonna go kick it, so we did what we do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We went and kicked it, and then he was like, all right, we gotta go. I gotta take you back to the crib. So he was just driving me home, man. And I remember the day before, he was like, yeah, you can't drive. He was like, you can't drive. You gotta roll with me all day. So I was like, all right, bet. As soon as we got in that car, bro, on the way home, I could just tell his whole aura just changed.
Really?
Like I felt it on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like for somebody I'm so close to, like you know when something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I felt it on him. Like I can still feel the shit to this day. It's kind of crazy talking about it.
Yeah.
And then we had just pulled up into the driveway. I remember when we pulled up, I had seen my mama and daddy car. I'm like,
what they doing over here?
What they doing over here? You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
at this time they had moved to Kansas, so I was like, and they drove all the way from Kansas here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking we finna have a pre-draft party or something. You know what I'm saying? I walked through the door, man. It was just like my coaching staff was there from Baylor, my agent, my little brother, my little sister, my mom and dad, and just like my pastor was there. And I was just like, as soon as I walked through the door, it was just like I got hit like right in my gut, and all the air just kind of came out of me. Cause it was just like bad aura in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like my mama was standing way in the back of the house. Everybody else was like by the front door when I opened the door. And like, it was like I could see through people. Like, like in the movies when they zoom through the crowd and there's somebody in the back. That's exactly what it was. And I just seen my mama, out of all the people in there, she was the first person I saw, and I was just like, damn.
Something don't feel right.
Something don't feel right. My mom, she this real beautiful lady. She had like these real rosy cherry cheeks, and whenever she got them cheeks, I knew she had been crying. You know what I'm saying? And so I had just walked straight over to her, and I asked her what's wrong. Like, I thought we had a death in the family or something. You know what I'm saying? And then she had to just tell me that's when she broke the news to me that my results had came back positive with Marfan Syndrome. So it was just like my world just went black for a second. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
God dang, man. 5 days before your lifelong dream. God damn, I can't even imagine that, man.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I was about to change my whole family life. You know, like that was my main purpose was hustling for my family. You know, trying to make sure that me and my family can be set for life. You know, so it was just like it was crazy, and I don't remember nothing. I just remember I woke up in the bathroom like splashing water on my face. I don't remember nothing after my mom told me that. I don't know how I got into the bathroom. I don't know if I passed out, if I fainted, nothing. All I remember is that I was over the sink splashing water in my own face, and it just kind of like slapped me like right in the face, like, you gotta pull yourself together. I was like, hold on, I gotta pull myself together. I looked in the mirror, I was like, I'm crying. I was like, my little brother and sister don't never see me cry, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta wipe my tears, and I went out. I remember I sat on the stairs, and up there next to my name, I wrote "Dream Again," because I remember I had sat on the stairs, and all my family members had like stood around me. My pastor, Ray, his dad is a pastor or a bishop.
Okay.
So he came over and put his hand on me, and he just started praying over me. And he was just like, in his prayer, he just kept asking God. He was like, I just ask that you give this young man the ability to dream again. And now it's just stuck with me ever since.
That's
so
dope.
I had to pull myself together, man. I was toe up in the bathroom. I don't remember how I got to the bathroom still to this day.
Really?
Yeah.